In order to understand exactly the breadth of powers of a municipality, you need to understand the Municipal Government Act in a few different ways. There is a statement of purpose set out in the MGA Section 2 and 3 that talks about the purpose of the Act itself and the purpose of municipal council. Section 4 of the MGA lists specific powers of municipal governments, and we talked about the powers as a corporate body and as a local government in the roles and responsibilities session. Throughout the MGA, and in particular Section 86, there are specific grants of authority, and the MGA grants authority in some specific ways to municipal councils and chief administrative officers. And finally, there are different spheres or scopes of jurisdiction for municipal governments in the MGA. And most of these are found between Section 1485 and Part 7 of the Act. Again, municipalities do not have direct powers under the Constitution. They possess only those powers that provincial legislatures delegate to them. As a reminder from what was reviewed in roles and responsibilities, municipalities are cities, towns, and rural municipalities that provide local services, facilities, safety, and infrastructure to their residents. They have that corporate status, which means they can act in ways that corporations do. And they also have local government powers, of course, those powers to create laws and policies that impact citizens and property owners in the municipality. The purposes of a municipal council include providing good government, providing services and facilities that council considers necessary or desirable for all or part of the municipality, stewarding the municipal assets, maintaining the community as safe and viable, and making sure the public are able to and do participate in matters that affect the municipality. The Municipal Government Act confers powers on municipalities and their councils, and Section 10 of the Act states clearly that the MGA shall be interpreted broadly in accordance with the purposes of the Act and in accordance with the purposes of council. We explore this a bit further in roles and responsibilities. Be aware of the difference between the language may and the language shall. When the word may is used in the Act, this means the authority is discretionary in that council may or may not choose to exercise the power given to them. Where the MGA or regulations use the word shall, this is a legislative requirement. So either the provision means council must do the thing, or it may be phrased in that if council does do the thing, they shall do it by bylaw, and that simply means council can choose to do or not do the thing, but if they do it, they must do it by bylaw. Most of the authority granted to councils or CAOs in the Act may be sub-delegated to others. So the CAO may delegate their duties to staff or in some cases volunteers, and likewise council may delegate some of the duties associated with their powers to the CAO to carry on. In most cases, this delegation of authority must be documented in writing, and there are certain cases where the CAO or council may not delegate the authority. With respect to municipal jurisdiction, Section 14, which we touched on already, provides that municipalities shall provide certain services, including fire planning and emergency measures planning. Section 85 addresses the requirement for a municipal office. Now, Part 7 of the Act, which starts at Section 180 in particular, has a long list of spheres or scopes of jurisdiction where council may pass bylaws and provide services. If you turn to Section 180 at this time, you see that long list of A through U, and includes services in a number of different areas. And these areas are listed here under the general discretionary jurisdiction of the municipality. So this includes things like utilities and public works, regulation of business activities, regulating people and activities in public spaces, getting into control and regulation around building standards, and of course any activity that municipalities do in this area is subject to other acts, including the Planning Act and Building Codes Act. The municipality may get into regulation of streets and transportation systems, animal protection and safety, and areas around preservation of vegetation, heritage properties, and parks and recreation. Remember that any activity or decision that a municipality undertakes in these areas of general jurisdiction still must be done through a bylaw or resolution. And certain provisions of the Act will state exactly when a bylaw shall be used. And if there isn't a requirement to do the activity or make the decision by bylaw, then it may be done through a resolution. As a reminder, the bylaws or resolutions are authorized or adopted at public meetings of council, and they are done by a majority vote of the council members present at the meeting and entitled to vote. And as a recap, bylaws are those municipal laws that deal with matters that have significant implications for people and property, and resolutions may be used for any other matter that isn't required to be done through a bylaw.